ever wondered, why does my baby keep getting rashes? Should I use cloth or disposable? Or
is that redness normal?
stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to handle and prevent diaper rashes confidently. And yes, I'll also share a sneak peek of my course Baby Skin Wise for parents who want to go deeper into baby skincare the right way. I'll show you the right way to put a diaper on your little one so that you can avoid leaks and discomfort. So let's start with the big question: cloth or disposable diapers? Honestly, it all boils down to personal preference and finances. Both have pros and cons, and there is no one size fits all. Disposable diapers are convenient, super absorbent, and great for travel or night use. But many contain fragrances, dyes, and chemicals that can irritate sensitive skin, especially in babies prone to eczema or rashes. Cloth diapers, on the other hand, are eco-friendly and free of most irritants. They allow better airflow, which reduces the risk of fungal rashes, but they need frequent changing, ideally every 2 to 3 hours, because they don't wick away moisture as well. I'll tell you what I've used for the past 4+ years and why in just a bit. But remember, if your baby tends to rash easily and you want to make the best of both worlds, especially get a peaceful night's sleep, you can use cloth diapers during the day and disposable ones overnight for a more balanced approach. Now let's talk about what's really happening underneath that diaper. Diaper rash isn't just one thing. There are actually many different types, and recognizing them helps you take care of them correctly. The most common type is the irritant diaper rash. It is caused due to prolonged contact with urine and stool. It will look red, shiny, and the classical clue is that it will spare the folds. This is why pediatricians, dermatologists will always recommend to change the diaper immediately or as soon as possible after a stool, because you don't want the stool coming in contact with urine, which is then going to break down the urea into ammonia, which is going to lead to that irritation to an already sensitive developing skin, especially of newborn and infants.
So what do?
You keep the area clean and dry. If your little one does develop a rash like this, use a barrier cream. There are recommendations of using zinc oxide. I really like that ingredient in sunscreens as well as in barrier creams. But if you don't have one, even a very regular basic moisturizer, or I have even tried using coconut oil or ghee, because what you're essentially trying to do is create a barrier between the skin and the contents that have come out, especially urine and stool, so that you allow the skin, which has already gotten irritated, to heal. And after discussing the other types that I want you to keep in mind, because most often when parents come in showing the diaper rash, or when we get referrals from pediatricians, it turns out that it isn't actually an irritant type, but it could be something else. But I'll show you how to put on the diaper correctly and what you should do, which is practical for busy moms like you and me. The second type of diaper rash could be a fungal or candidial rash, which you might have also heard as yeast candidial rash. This will generally happen when the area remains moist for too long. You will see bright red patches, and fungal infections like to spread, especially peripherally from the outside. So you will see tiny satellite lesions around the main lesion, like small other lesions around towards the outside of the lesion, which is giving you a clue that this is an infection which is actually trying to spread. Now, most often I have seen this when we use cloth diapers. This is because they're not very efficient in wicking moisture away. So what I recommend is using a good quality, highly absorbent disposable diaper during these times. Or if you want to continue using this, you want to try to keep your child diaper free for a period of time, because moisture or that hot humid condition down there is going to be a very conducive environment for yeast and candida to grow, and you will have to make use of a mild antifungal cream so that you can take care of it quickly along with preventing its spread. And the third most common type of diaper rash I want you to keep in mind is an allergic diaper rash. Now this could be triggered by wipes, detergents, or even the material of the diaper. This will usually appear soon after switching up brands or using new products.
So what will you do?
You'll try to eliminate the trigger. Try switching to a fragrance-free wipe and diaper, alcohol-free wipes, because alcohol can tend to irritate the skin, or simply use cotton pads dipped in warm water. There are many other types of diaper rashes which can be serious. I actually discussed them in Baby Skin Wise, but I don't want to overwhelm you, and these are the basic and the most common ones that you should be aware of. Now that we know the different types of diaper rashes, let's discuss why some babies are prone to them than others. There are a few risk factors that can make diaper dermatitis or diaper rash more likely. Age. Newborn and infant skin is still developing. It is thinner, more delicate, and loses moisture faster. That means it is more easily irritated as compared to older babies. Diet. As your baby's diet changes, for example, when you introduce solids, the intestinal bacteria and stool's pH also changes. This can make the stool more irritating to the skin. Interestingly, breastfeeding has been shown to be protective, and breastfed babies tend to have milder, lesser irritating stools. And the third is frequency of diaper changes. The longer the skin stays in contact with urine and stool, the higher the risk of inflammation. So newborns and younger infants who get their diapers changed more frequently tend to have fewer rashes than older babies who might go longer between changes. So what is the takeaway? Gentle skin with frequent changes
And quick changes.
will leave your little baby's bottom happy. Let's face it, every parent has faced blowout moments. After going through 4+ years with my 2 little ones, I have had my fair share, and sometimes they tend to happen when you least want them to. For some reason, especially with my second one, we had to clean up the mess for 3 to 4 consecutive times every time we went outside for a picnic or for an outing. Like, we would reach our destination, and when we pick him up from the car seat, we are like, oh my god. I know it's messy, it's stressful, but it is preventable, at least most of the time. So here are some things you can keep in mind to make your diaper routine
Less stressful.
Choose the right size. A diaper too small compresses and leaks. A size too large can leave gaps. Change frequently. If the diaper is already too heavy, its absorptive capacity is going to reduce. So every 2 to 3 hours or immediately after a stool,
Is good.
gentle cleaning. You want to skip harsh wipes. Use soft cloths or cotton pads with lukewarm water. Try to use a barrier cream or any form of barrier after every change or after every 2 to 3 changes to prevent a rash. Remember, applying a barrier cream or a barrier oil is not just for treatment, it is preventative as well. Another observation in my experience is when you are removing your child's clothing, especially if they are wearing pants or shorts or their bottom wear, if you pull out by not being mindful, in the sense what I like to do is actually remove it carefully so that I don't compress and leak the contents which otherwise hadn't gotten out and were intact. Also remember to increase your diaper free time as far as possible, and in general when it comes to diaper rash, whether for treatment, preventative, avoid talcum powders. I absolutely do not like using any form of powder for any reason in a newborn or an infant or even a young child for that matter. They don't need one. It can irritate the skin. It can be inhaled. So skip them entirely. Now, sometimes rashes don't improve even after good care. So if your baby's rash is painful, blistering or oozing, spreading beyond the diaper area, or associated with fever or irritability, it is time to get it checked. There could be a bacterial infection or eczema that is overlapping with the diaper rash that needs professional care. In fact, whenever in doubt, consult your doctor. It could be your pediatrician, your dermatologist, your primary care provider, but please don't be shy and afraid of asking any questions that you might have. Whether you're a first-time mom or a seasoned pro, no question is too silly to ask. In fact, we feel very happy if we are able to address your concerns and help you in any way possible. Remember, every baby's skin tells a different story, and understanding it is key to keeping them happy, healthy, and rash-free. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so that you don't miss out on any new updates that get uploaded. In the upcoming videos, we'll discuss baby wash routines, choosing skincare products wisely, cradle cap, baby eczema, and let me know what are your concerns. What do you want to know more about? Drop them in the comments below. And for parents who want step-by-step dermatologist guided advice with checklists and routines, I want you to check out my course Baby Skin Wise. It is the first audio-visual guide for parents, caretakers, and anyone who wants to take care of their baby's skin in the right holistic manner. Feel free to check it out. The link will be in the description below. It is a comprehensive guide that teaches you everything you need to know about your baby's skin from birth to toddlerhood. There are many conditions and many things that I cannot discuss openly on social media, and I wanted to give you a safe platform where we discuss evidence-based integrative approaches to common things and things that you should be aware about. Continue to glow, thrive, and shine as always. Take care. I'll see you soon.
All this year's every single tear, all the